Shalom, land legs, and happy Mermaid Thanksgiving! Mermaid hearts and kisses to you! Today, I will be discussing what I'm going to be making for Thanksgiving. Well, I'm only going to be talking about one of the dishes, or we'd be here all morning, right? And I know you want to get to eat too. You must tell me, what is your favorite food to eat for Thanksgiving? Well, mine is going to be a little different because it's a mermaid Thanksgiving. And I got this recipe from my grandma. I'm so excited. This is my third year making my favorite dish at Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Trying to narrow down one dish that's my favorite to eat at Thanksgiving is not easy because there's so many foods that I absolutely love on Thanksgiving Day. Well, I like to start with dessert. I don't know about you, but I could eat every single thing for dessert. The only thing I don't like is chocolate. Not a fan of chocolate, but I love pecan pie, pumpkin pie. I really like apple pie as well, and any kind of cake and ice cream. And yes, I do like to eat ice cream with my pies as well. And then, of course, I've got to get to the real foods. I love all the vegetables. Yes, I know a lot of us don't like to eat our vegetables, but I do actually really enjoy eating lots and lots of vegetables, especially seaweed. Seaweed, yes, I do enjoy eating some really, really great seaweed. I am part fish, you know. So there's that. And then I also like to eat any of the breads. So I enjoy a good cornbread, so vegetables, cornbread, and mashed potatoes. Woo! Thanksgiving potatoes are just so delicious. And speaking of potato, the candied yams. You guys, one of my other really big time favorites is candied yams. I love, 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 love candied yams. But what am I going to be making this morning? What I like to do is go over my list of foods that I'm going to be having for that particular dish so that I don't forget something. I like to check it a few times just in case I need to run out and grab something that I forgot before I get started, because it's a little difficult to get around in the tail, you know? So I have to figure things out early, and that way I won't have to go out in the middle of making the dish. So this morning I am going to be making, oh, I think I did tell you, my grandma's cornbread. I am so excited. So we are going to be having Thanksgiving with some friends because I'm not able to swim home to see my mom and my grandma and my brothers and my niece, my family. So I will be having Thanksgiving here in the Atlantic Ocean. So let's see, I've got my mermaid blue pen and my mermaid blue marker to help me go over the things that I do not want to forget on my special grandma's cornbread dish. I'm so excited to make it this morning. It's so awesome. Don't forget to tell me what your favorite dish is for Thanksgiving. Put it in the comments, okay? I would love to hear what your favorite dish is for Thanksgiving. So I am going to start by turning on my oven and going ahead and making sure that I start mixing my cornbread and get my cornbread in the oven. It's the most important part of this dish. So I'm going to get my cornbread started. Then I'm going to start chopping up my vegetables, which are going to be celery. I'm going to have a green bell pepper, and I'm going to have an onion. I hope you're not helping to chop in the kitchen, are you? I mean, that part's like very tricky. I take my time and I make sure that I don't accidentally chop my fingers, right? So yeah, you have to be really careful. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute those. After I cleanse them off, I'm gonna saute them in the pan for like 3 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna saute them. Saute? What's a saute? So a saute is a fancy word for just putting my vegetables in the frying pan with a little bit of oil and then occasionally slowly moving them around the pan. That's a saute. Then I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper. So let's make sure, do I have all these things? My cornbread, my celery, my green bell pepper, my onion, my garlic, my salt and pepper. I always have salt and pepper because I make it with like every dish. So then I'm going to add that into my saute. Now, next, I'm going to be adding a little bit of some spices. Who doesn't like a nice spice, right, when it comes to their dish? So I'm going to be adding a little bit of oregano, yummy, and a little bit of parsley. And I'm going to add that into my mix and get ready to put that in the main dish when the cornbread is ready. And I'm going to go ahead and start with 2 boiled eggs. Got to make sure to have my 2 boiled eggs because I'm going to chop those up once they're done boiling for half an hour. And then I am going to grab my cornbread. This is my favorite part. I know that if you guys were helping me make my cornbread, you would definitely love this part too. So I take my cornbread, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do. I take my cornbread out of the pan and I start crumbling it with my fingers. It's so nice. I make sure it's not super hot, like right out of the oven, but I let it cool down a little bit. And then I just start breaking my cornbread up, right? And making sure that like there's no really big lumps left in it, making it all crumbly. Now, little secret, some people actually go out and buy the cornbread already crumbled and made and baked for them in the oven. What's the fun in that? I like to crumble up my own cornbread. It is so much fun, and I know you would enjoy that part too. Now I'm going to take all of my ingredients. I'm going to take my celery, my green bell pepper, and my onion, and I'm going to toss it in there, and then I'm going to add in my spices that I set aside. I'm going to take my chopped boiled eggs, and I'm going to throw those in there too. And let's see what else I have. There's only a few more things left to throw in there. So I'm gonna stir all of that up, which is really, really great. Stir it up, woo! And while I'm stirring it up, I'm gonna take an entire stick of butter. What? An entire stick of butter? No way. Yes, I'm gonna take an entire stick of butter. I'm gonna melt it in a pan on the stove, and it's gonna, get to like a liquid form now. And I'm gonna pour that on top of the cornbread mix, and I'm just gonna stir that up. Now you wanna stir it up like kind of slowly. You don't wanna go too quickly because things may start flying out of your big mixing bowl. It's always fun whenever it does happen though. But you want to like go kind of slow with this, and I'm sure your mom and dad will let you help with this part because you're just gonna like stir all those ingredients up, make sure that they all start meshing together, and like, you can smell all the nice aromas in the kitchen at that time already. You definitely can start smelling them with the cornbread baking in the oven, and when you did the saute, well, you won't be doing the saute, mom and dad will be doing the saute. But yeah, so you're just gonna do that, and you're gonna mix everything up. And then, so those are considered our dry ingredients right before we added that butter. So then we're gonna put the butter on top, and that's gonna be one of our wet ingredients. Just like on land when we stay dry, right? We stay dry on land. And then when we get into the ocean and we swim, or we get into the swimming pool, now we're in the wet part of the land, right? So yeah, we have our dry ingredients, which is like being on land. And then we have our liquid ingredients, which is like swimming in the ocean or swimming in our swimming pool. I hope you don't swim in your hot tub. That would be kind of weird. I actually have seen people put their head in the hot tub. I don't know. I don't really fancy hot tubs too much because I could just start cooking, you know, because my Tylenol, I wouldn't want to be in a hot tub. No, 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 no. Okay, so then our next part is going to be after we've melted our butter and we've thrown it into our mix. Now we are going to add a cream of soup. Which soup do I want to do? I can either do a cream of broccoli, a cream of onion, cream of celery. Should I do celery? Ooh, I think I should do a cream of celery because I don't really want more onion and I don't really want broccoli in my cornbread. I've never had broccoli in my cornbread, so I don't think I want to start now. Or cream of potato? Cream of potato in my cornbread? No, let's do the cream of celery. I'm glad we got to talk about this. Cream of celery before I get started because I wouldn't want to add a cream of potato. No, thank you. Now I'm going to add my broth and I'm just going to mix everything up to where it is feeling very mushy at this point. I don't want to add too much broth, but just enough broth, okay, to fill up the pan and to make sure that it's not too runny. So I'm going to add my broth, I'm going to continue to stir, and then I'm going to pour it all into my baking pan. Now I'm just going to do a square pan like that, and it's going to be about this high because I'm taking it over to friends, and there's going to be all these other Thanksgiving dishes there as well that other people are bringing, probably traditions from their family too. And so we're all going to get to taste different things that day, and I don't want to bring too much. But even if I did, at least some people can take some home if they really liked it. So I get to share even more. Or I get to take some home for me to have later. That's always really good. So I am going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to put the oven on 375, and I'm going to bake that for 30 to 45 minutes. Now I'm going to go check it after 30 minutes just to make sure that it's not like, I'm just going to make sure it's not burning. I don't think it's going to burn, but I need to make sure that it's not going to burn. So I'm going to take a little toothpick, I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to look around the edges of it and make sure that it's not super dark. And then if it still looks like it needs to bake a little more, I'm going to throw it back into the oven for another 15 minutes. I'm so excited to get started with this today. I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait. Speaking of waiting, did you already add in on the comments what your favorite Thanksgiving meal is or Thanksgiving dish? You know, just list a few things if they're all your favorites. And you know it goes really well with cornbread. Cornbread dressing. It is cranberry sauce. Yeah! You know the difference between cornbread dressing and cornbread stuffing? Most of the time you'll just hear it called stuffing and not cornbread. This is because people take all different kinds of ingredients and they stuff those ingredients right into the turkey. And then they eat the turkey and they eat all of the things that they stuffed inside the turkey, and it could be all kinds of stuff. Now I have never ever made stuffing, no, nor do I like to eat stuffing, but I'll tell you why in just a moment. So the difference between that and cornbread dressing is that the base of that dish, my favorite dish, is cornbread. It is not all of these weird ingredients that you stuff inside of a turkey. It is cornbread, and it's so yummy. And you can, I guess, make it in the same pan as your turkey, but I do not do that, and neither did my grandma. So I like to make it this way, and it is just so good, and I cannot wait to have it. But the reason why I don't like stuffing, you guys, I do not eat the gobble gobble. I know, right? I do not eat the gobble gobble. I do not eat turkey meat. I do not. I don't eat any meat at all, actually. So that's why I like bread besides the potatoes. And I love desserts. I love desserts so much. I can sing about desserts all day. I'm so excited that I got to share my favorite Mermaid Thanksgiving dish with you this morning. I hope that you will have an amazing Mermaid Thanksgiving, an amazing weekend, and that you will remember to put down in the comments your favorite Thanksgiving meal, dish, dessert. I want to hear all about it. But enough about that. We gotta get to going celebrating Thanksgiving, right? So I gotta get started making. Oh, come on, Fluky, we can get out of here now. We gotta go and start making our food. I'll see you guys next time.